Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Let's start with Chanel. So Chanel comes over Lonnie's place and she pretty much asks because she stayed there. Since mom went back to Miami for a little bit and wants no parts of her. And so she's asking for a place to stay, because she stayed with Lonnie. Now Lonnie's like, yo, listen, I got 2 kids and a husband in this small apartment. Where do you think you're gonna stay at? Like, are you serious? So, Chanel talks about her sob story about how, the whole marriage thing didn't work out and now she doesn't have any money and yada yada yada. So, Lonnie gives her some suggestions. First, she talks about trying to get her a job at the police station. Chanel shuts that down. And then Lonnie's like, hey, listen, I need a nanny. Why don't you stay here? You can help with the kids and stuff like that. And, we can find you something else. Why are you doing this? I do not understand a character like her. And I don't understand how people can actually sit there and say that they like this woman. Because she came out and just straight up disrespected Lonnie and practically every other mother on the planet. She just totally disrespected her. She was like, well, why would I want to do something that's so, like, demeaning or something like that? I think she did use the word demeaning. Like, why would I want to do something that I'm so unqualified and just so demeaning to me? And I was like, whoa, let me get this straight. You think what Lonnie does is demeaning? You think that it's demeaning for you to take care of your nieces and nephews? Like, are you kidding me? I don't understand. Listen, this girl comes across as so, like, entitled and bratty. And halfway through, after she finished insulting her, and Lonnie was like, listen, if you don't want to do this, that, and the third, good luck. And Chanel's sorry ass excuse or sorry ass apology, she literally was like, well, I know I'm coming off kind of bratty and entitled and stuff like that. It's just, I was like, what? I'm surprised Lonnie didn't just throw your ass out of her apartment. Like, I was like, whoa. So, somehow, Lonnie, and I guess for the plot of this show, decided to give her a chance and have her stay there until she can find a job. And I was just like, so let me get this straight. She literally insults you. She acts like the stuff that you're suggesting is just beneath her. She literally tried to extort your aunt, her own mother, and your answer is, yeah, sure, you can stay on the couch. Awesome. The fact that she actually offered to, to sit there and say, hey, you can take care of my babies or whatever. I was like, are you kidding me? You want this girl to take care of your 2 twins? What? Lonnie, you alright? You good? Cause she doesn't even seem like she can function well as far as boiling water, let alone taking care of children. Wow. So Jan Spears is talking to Bonnie, and Jan is just, listen, I've seen some bad villains before, some bad baddies or whatever, but she's among the worst, okay, because she's literally sitting there bragging, talking about how Bella's gonna go down, and they got a recording of her, and Bonnie was like, how do you know she has a recording? Now Janet has that stupid look on her face like, the dark web. Like, yeah, I found it on the dark web. Yeah, that's Yep, that's how I found out. It was like she was so. It's like she was so proud of what she was doing to Bella that she just kept going on and on and on how Bella's gonna go down and she's not gonna get away with this and yada yada yada, and they have evidence. They have a bunch of evidence. They have a recording. You I don't understand this woman. I really don't. But you know what? It's really sad because it's like I'm pretty sure this show had better villains than just this one-dimensional character. That this whole function is to just try to get with Sean. You know, that's her whole function. That's her whole reason for ever since they're going after some of these people is to sit there and try to get Sean. Like, oh my goodness. So she's going on and on. And she also talks about Mimi, that's Bonnie's daughter, whatever, and how she was in the coma the first time because of something that Mimi did. And, you know, to be honest, I don't really care. Honestly, to tell you the truth, part of it because it was stuff before I knew it. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I just don't really care. I 99% don't care about what happened to Janet Spears, except for that one thing that happened to her that, as much as I don't like this character, I would not wish that on anyone. Anyway, they finish going back and forth with each other, and to be honest, nothing really gets solved because Bonnie's like, you know, it's funny too because Bonnie's like, listen, I don't have to sit there and take this, and Janet Spears is like, well, leave. Janet, she was here first. She was here first. You sat your little ass down. You started eating off of her plate. Okay, Jen. So, at some point, she's sitting there talking to herself, and she's all like, yeah, you know, Sean's gonna be mine. And that's when Claire walks in like, I'm sorry, what? And Claire was sitting there talking to Xander. Xander is a very, very, very interesting character because the things that come out of his mouth, I feel like the only reason why people actually give him a pass, like some of the fans give him a pass, is because of his looks. Let's be honest. He says some real acidine things when he was talking to Sarah at one point. Something along the lines of, I think that's when he switched the babies or whatever, and it was like a dead baby or something like that. He said something that was really terrible as far as like, oh, well, you were just going to get rid of the baby anyway, so it's like it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, it was some sort of offhand thing that was just like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, you can't be this stupid. So he's not there talking to Claire, and they bump into each other. At some point, they talk about Bella. You know, Bella shooting Charlie. And Xander's like, poor Charlie. Poor Charlie? and Claire was like, yo, you know what he did to Allie? And Xander was like, well, no one's perfect. No one's perfect? Listen, I've said some things in my time when I was drunk. Okay? I've said some things before when I was drunk. But I've never said things that remotely equivalent or remotely adds up to just how dark that was. No one's perfect. Are you... this guy just leaves me speechless because I'm just like, you are literally sitting there defending the worst thing someone can do to someone by sitting there saying, yeah, no one's perfect. What the Claire was like, yo, have you lost your mind? And, you know, that's when Xander's like, oh, well, you know, I'm still a little drunk or whatever. Because, you know, apparently he started at like 9 p.m. and he was still drinking all the way through out the day before he got kicked out of the hotel. It was so funny because when he bumped into Claire, Claire was like, bro, why are you not drunk? Like, it's 9 in the morning. What are you doing? So after this idiot, because let's be honest, and I feel like calling him worse things than that, but I'm gonna call him an idiot. So they told, you know, at one point it looks like Xander's about to propose to Claire, and Claire's like, "Yo, we're family. What are you doing?" Xander's like, you want to buy this ring so this way I can, whatever." And, Claire's like, "Listen, one, no, two, maybe you can sit there and talk to grandfather and, like, get on his good side or whatever." And that's the thing, it's not as though, I mean, his pride, to some extent I understand, like, I understand how he feels about Victor and everything like that, but I'm like, bro, you are literally homeless at this point. You have no place, well, I guess you can always stay with Jack, which would be fun. But I was like, bro, you really have no place to stay. You might want to start thinking about options once you sober up. So pretty much what it really comes down to is that Claire gives Xander like a pep talk that he needed. And the one thing that Claire said that made her a VIP in this episode was when Xander was like, Sarah left me, and I don't understand why she left me, and I changed my life and everything like that, and I became a better man. And Claire was like, you need to become a better man for you. You can't change for someone else. I'm pretty sure I remember saying that. Yeah, I remember saying that. And, Claire's like, listen, she's gone. You can't change that. But you can't keep doing this either. So it's time to man up and find a way to move forward. One foot in front of the other. And she walks off. I was like, first of all, I'm so glad that they actually have this actress playing Claire instead of the other actress, because the other actress played Claire like she was a 12-year-old girl at best. And she was of legal age of drinking. So that was just so off for me. But, yeah. So she walks off, and, well, I think that's actually about it for Xander. It's funny. Actually, it's not funny. No, it's not funny. But part of the reason why Xander was trying to stick out for Charlie is because, Xander made a lot of mistakes in his past. He tried to own up to it. He did what he could to sit there and try to change for the better. And basically he was like, oh, well, it wasn't Bella's job to sit there and play judge and jury and executor with Charlie. He could have been a better person. Listen, you don't become a better person after that. You just don't. Like, there's certain things in this world that's just unforgivable. And even if that character would have still lived, you just couldn't forgive him. Just like you can't forgive this character named Luke Spencer for what he did. If you don't know about that, he's a character on General Hospital, and if you wonder what I'm talking about, just ask about Lulu Spencer and how she was conceived. And yeah, people still tend to just completely overshadow that, but whatever. Now, Marlene is sitting there talking to Bella and Sean, and pretty much Bella comes to the conclusion that most likely it was Jan Spears that set her up. Given the height, the body shape and everything like that, given the motivation of why she would actually do that, she came to that conclusion. Only problem is, quote unquote, Jan Spears was in a coma. That's where it last leaves off at. I'm just like, well, what if she wasn't in a coma? Maybe you should do some more digging before you just kind of write off that theory. Because let's be honest, I mean, granted, when you look at it as a whole, every person, a lot of them in Salem, there was a lot of people that wanted Charlie dead. A lot of people that wanted Charlie dead. So every person that has, motive. But Jan Spears has the most motive because, again, she said that it would frame her and it would leave, Sean to be with Jan, because that's, you know what, I just don't want to go there. But yeah, it would leave her, will leave Sean for the taking of Jan. So they figured pretty much that it was most likely Jan. They're just trying to get around the fact that, well, she was in a quote-unquote coma. Now, John isn't there talking to Melinda. And John is pretty much just being cool hand Luke. You know, Melinda's like, listen, we got the tape. We got the evidence right here. You literally said it was your daughter. So, you know, obstruction, all that other stuff like that, it's just not, it's not good for you. It's not good for you. We got your daughter. It's going to happen. John's just like, mm-hmm. I'm sorry, what? Like, he's literally just like, yeah. Like, he's literally sitting there playing poker. John has a great poker face. So, at some point, Justin gets there, and Justin's like, so, that tape, that confession, that doesn't seem legal to me. It seems like it's going to get thrown out in court. Yeah, I can see that getting thrown out in court. So, what else do you have? Oh, is that just it? That's all you have? So, you don't really have anything else. So, you should just drop this whole case. You should sit there and let Bella go and just, you know, move on to a person who actually did it. How about that? And Melinda is just not biting. Melinda. Damn, that girl looked good. She looks fire and red. I don't know, it's the thing. It's like, some women that have brunette hair look really good with, like, red on. It just flows very well. But, yeah, she looked good. But, she's just not dropping it. She's like, yo, listen, we're at a standstill. You know, I think that recording's going to be enough. And, I guess we'll just wait and see. Now, a couple of times, John wants to talk, but Justin is pretty much just like, bro, I got this. This is what you pay me for. So stop talking. He pretty much tells Melinda to leave the room so that we could talk to him, to his client. And, you know, John is like, listen, I'm not testifying against, I'm not testifying against, Bella. I'm just not doing it. And he's kind of kicking himself a little bit. Now, earlier, and I forgot to mention this, you know, Sean and Bella was sitting there wondering how they actually got the recording. Like, how is it possible? You know, like, you know, they pretty much pieced together that Jan Spears walked in the room and she kind of overheard a little bit of stuff. And it's funny because, you know, I think Bella was like, so, but what happened? Like, did you lock your door? Like, did you lock, like, the thing? Like, did you lock the drawer or anything like that? And Marlena was like, no, I didn't do that. I don't think I locked the door or something like that. I'm like, Marlena, I don't understand how you actually just leave your office, door unlocked. I mean, anyone could just walk in and just look for anything and just find it. Like, are you kidding me? And she didn't even seem like she broke in to actually get through the, you know, to get into her office. She just walked right on in. I feel like in some sort of way, Marlena should probably be kicking herself a lot harder than just, yeah. I guess it could have been possible that she could have got in. I'm sorry, you don't really seem like you're, like, do you even care? Or is this like, just, what is going on with you? I don't know. She seemed like she was just so careless about just leaving that there, and the fact that somebody else found it, it's like, she should be, like, displaying more emotion of, I don't know, kicking herself or whatever, being more angry at herself. She's just like, yeah. I don't know, I guess that's just her personality, so, yeah. Yeah, then, yeah, I think the last scene was pretty much Claire faces off against Jan Spears again. And once again, I feel like Jan Spears is going to somehow manipulate Claire. You know, to be honest, the way she manipulated her the first time, by sitting there talking about her experience with that guy who did you-know-what to her, I feel like that was kind of low. Because that's not something you should sit there and use as a weapon to sit there and try to get one over on someone. Like, that's a really personal, like, terrible thing that happened to her. So the fact that she used that like it was some sort of weapon was just like, wow, okay. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's about it. Write your comments down below. Thank you for watching. Be safe, everyone. I'll catch you in the next video.